How's it going, everyone? They call me the Toaster, and today I want to show you a really cool way that you could trap the Ender Dragon in Minecraft Bedrock 1.19. So let's get right into today's episode. So this trap uses the fact that water can push the Ender Dragon, and if you have a bubble column, it will actually push her upwards when she tries to purge at the highest block at 0, which is this soul sand. Another good thing about this trap is that it's self-healing. So as you see, when the dragon breaks the water blocks, they just fill themselves in and it replenishes itself. The only way that the Ender Dragon can break this trap is if she comes from underneath and goes upwards and breaks all the soul sand underneath. But I find that generally she stays above the portal and this trap works really well. Let me show you how it works in survival. I built this little area here that protects me from Endermen because it's only 2 blocks tall. And it's far enough away from the dragon that she won't knock me off of the platform. With a power 5 bow and a potion of strength 2, let's see how long it takes to kill the Ender Dragon. I was able to kill the dragon before the 1 minute and 30 seconds was up from the strength 2 potion. After she dies, she'll drop all the XP and you can just go ahead and collect it. And then we can go and respawn in the dragon. The good thing about this trap is that you don't need to break the end crystals at the top of the pillars because they don't reach her when she's there. So let's wait for the animation to respawn the dragon. Alright, now we just have to wait for her to go into her perching animation. So you see now she's flying around and she decides to perch right now. And you see once she goes into her perching animation, she'll end up getting stuck and be trapped like this for as long as you like. So let's get right into the build tutorial. I recommend doing this build after you defeat the Ender Dragon for the first time because it could be kind of hard to do it while she's flying around. Here's the materials list. You're going to need 14 and a bit of stacks of endstone, 3.5 stacks of soul sand, 2 water buckets to make an infinite source, 64 dirt, 2 stacks of kelp, half a stack of ladders because she may end up breaking the ladders, so it's always good to bring a bit more, a power 5 bow, a stack of arrows, and a strength 2 potion if you want, and 4 end crystals if you want to respawn the dragon. So let's start the build. Place a soul sand above the end portal and go out by 10 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now do the same thing on the other side. Go out by 10 blocks. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now add another row of endstone completely along the soul sand. And what you're going to do is you're going to alternate between soul sand and endstone. And you're going to go out 10 rows on each side. So that endstone layer was 1. Now we're going to do the second one of soul sand. This counts as layer number 2. Now we're doing the third layer of endstone. The fourth layer is soul sand. The fifth row is endstone. Then the sixth row. Then the seventh row. 8th, 9th row, and then the last 10th row, which is going to be soul sand. When you're done, it should look something like this. Now we're going to repeat the same pattern on the other side. When you're done, it should look like this. So from the center block, we went out 10 blocks in each direction. Now we're going to start the wall, and it needs to be 6 blocks tall. 4, 5, 6. And then we need to fill this in completely all the way around the platform. When you're done, it should look exactly like this, and remember, it goes up by 6 blocks. Now go to the middle block at 0, and you could tell it's the middle block because under it is the bedrock. Then we're going to place these 4 blocks around it and build them up by 6 as well. When that's done, it should look like this. Now we just have to fill this thing completely with water, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do that. You're going to place down a row of dirt along one edge of the soul sand and then along one more edge like this to make an L shape. Now somewhere along the edge, you're going to want to make an infinite water source because we're going to need a little bit of water for this next part. I recommend making a 2x2 of water, and that's the easiest water source. Now you're going to place a water in the corner, skip a block, and place another water source next to it. And you're going to continue this all along the edge above the dirt blocks. You're going to place a water source after every second block. So you're going to skip a space, put a water, skip a space, put a water, skip a space, put a water, and do that completely for the edge. And then we're going to do the same thing above the other row of dirt blocks. You only need to do this above the dirt blocks. So it's only going to be 2 sides that have this pattern of water sources. Then what you're going to do is you're going to place kelp on the dirt blocks that have the water source above them. So start with the corner and place 6 kelp to go all the way up to the top. And then what you're going to do is exactly the same thing you did for the water sources. You're going to place 6 kelp every other block. So basically the kelp needs to go where you placed your original water sources. You can skip a dirt block and just make sure that you put 6 kelp so it goes all the way up to the top. Why do you want to do this is because the kelp is going to turn the water into water source blocks all the way down to the bottom. And that's going to completely fill in this pool once it's done at the end. And I want to show you this because it's going to look really cool. So just be sure to place kelp where you put all the water sources along both edges. And then once you get to the end, place the final kelp in the corner. So it should look something like this. Now you're going to break all of the dirt blocks, and that's going to break the kelp above it. So that's going to be really easy to clean up the mess afterwards. And once you get to the last dirt block, you only have one thing left to do. What you have to do is you have to place a water source block in the corner of where the 2 water towers meet. So you only have to place one source block there, and look what happens. This thing is going to completely fill with water. Actually, I think you're going to have to break that middle pillar for it to completely work. So let's just get rid of that. So once we get rid of that, look at how it comes in really nicely. And if there's any holes in the floors, that's going to stop it from going as well. So just make sure to fill in any gaps. But look at that. It completely fills in the rest of the pool. And you should have the bubbles start to form right away. Remember to add back that little tower in the middle at block 00. And you can know that you're at the middle block because under that soul sand is going to be the bedrock from the end portal frame. The reason why you want to tower this up is because we have to get rid of the water in the middle because she's going to try to perch at the highest block and we don't want the water to get in the way. Then break out the middle column so that the highest block at 00 is this soul sand right here. And that's it. That's the full build. So now we just need to go out by 10 blocks just to make sure we have enough space so that the dragon doesn't knock us off. And make a little protection hut so that way if you're being chased by Enderman, you have somewhere to hide. And don't forget to bring this down to the floor so that you can place ladders and have a way to get up. If you want, you can add water below so that if you do get knocked off, at least you won't take fall damage. And that's it. If you liked it, please leave me a like. Please leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Alright, have an awesome day. Toaster out.